On Saturday morning, British media simultaneously reported that Princess Eugenie and her husband Jack Brooksbanks have quietly moved out of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's home, Frogmore Cottage in Windsor, where the couple just moved in about 6 weeks ago. Princess Eugenie, 30, who is Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip's granddaughter, and also Prince Andrew and the Duchess of York's daughter, married Jack Brooksbank, 34, in October 2018 and is currently pregnant with her first child and plans to give birth in early 2021. Previously, reports revealed that Prince Harry and his wife Meghan, who now live in California, recently had their personal items collected from the cottage so that pregnant Eugenie and Jack could move in. A source said at the time, removal vans pitched up in the dead of the night and cleared out the cottage. They definitely did not want to be seen. Emptying their home and handing over the keys is a pretty strong sign Harry and Meghan have no plans to return. It appears they're tying up loose ends and they plan to extend their stay in the US, perhaps permanently. Frogmore was kitted out to Meghan and Harry's taste with son Archie in mind, so it is the perfect place for a couple to bring up a baby. It has the bonus of being round the corner from Eugenie's parents and, of course, the Queen. Harry and Meghan didn't fancy Frogmore for whatever reason, but Jack and Eugenie are delighted with it. Now, just 6 weeks later, they have quit the Grade 2 listed house and moved back to Kensington Palace, The Sun reported. The publication's source exclaimed, "It is empty again. Why does no one want to live in Frogmore Cottage? What is wrong with the place?" It was understood that Eugenie and her cousin Harry reached a private agreement over Frogmore Cottage, though it is not known how long it will last. At the time of the move, Prince Harry and Meghan were said to have been delighted to open up their home to Eugenie and Jack. Frogmore Cottage was gifted to Harry and Meghan by the Queen ahead of their wedding and remains their UK residence. Meghan and Harry spent $2.4 million on renovations on the cottage, an outlay of public money which became controversial after they quit as working royals in March. But they then reimbursed taxpayers in full for the renovation of the Windsor home in September. Reports also revealed Harry and Meghan will retain the cottage as their home in Britain and suggested when visiting the UK they will share it with Eugenie and Jack. But Princess Eugenie has finally packed up and moved back to London after only 6 weeks in the cottage, and was spotted shopping in Kensington, West London 10 days ago. Before moving into the cottage, Eugenie and Jack had been living in Ivy Cottage at Kensington Palace. There has been no official announcement from the royal family about this, but many internet users have been constantly speculating about the real reason the couple moved out of the cottage. Here's what they said. Username Blastman wrote, "Meghan is coming back. She wants her little Archie to go to boarding school, Eton probably." Usernamed Blue Banana wrote, "Maybe they were having some work done at the house before the baby arrived. Or with the shutdown, she wanted to be closer to her parents. Now that the lockdown is over, they went back to their house." Username Bobo is here wrote, "Seriously? If you read the history of the place, the frogs chirp all night. That is why Queen Victoria named it Frogmore. Who can sleep with hundreds, if not thousands, of frogs chirping all night? Clean the moor and see how different living there is." Usernamed Kissing wrote, "Obviously could not afford the rent Harry and Meghan were asking." Username Anyone wrote, "Maybe it's haunted, and that's why no one wants to live there." Username Frankie2112 wrote, "Meg probably wants some enormous price for the rent. That's why they moved." Username Mick LW wrote, "Meg's probably asked them to pay for the renovations. Also, after living in St James's Palace, it would be difficult to live there, just by comparison." Usernamed Cambridge Mummy wrote, "Perhaps she knows Harry will be moving back soon. Alone." Usernamed Beautiful Country wrote, "No doubt her Markleness needs the house. She plans to visit the UK as a Christmas surprise. Don't forget to ask her how she feels when she's back." Username Mary Jane Statvia wrote, "So there is something wrong with the Frogmore Cottage, or was there something wrong with the deal they made with Harry?" Username AC wrote, "It's probably too quiet, isolated, boring. They probably felt like they'd been on a long secluded holiday, then yearned to go home." Usernamed Cat wrote, "Perhaps Perhaps they were just having some work done on their Kensington Palace home and they only needed temp housing. Username Brad of Mandurah wrote, "All signs point to the place being haunted. Not surprising given the history." Username Tangerine Dream wrote, "Perhaps they've just moved back temporarily to be closer to the hospital where she would give birth and move back again afterwards. Big fuss about nothing." Username Lindy Lowe wrote, "I wonder if Harry is coming home for Christmas and they had to get out, or in the new year. Oh, very interesting." The reasons are funny, right? However, to know the real story behind this news, the public still have to wait for an official statement from the royal family.